Hi students, it's Mrs. T. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night whenever you're watching this video. This is the very first video that you should watch for our sociology class this fall semester 2021. We're going to learn about society and human interaction together. We're going to do it in a systematic way because that's what the scientific method is all about, but it's going to be a fun class where we get to explore a lot of the reasons why certain things happen the way that they do in society and in our daily lives. So let's talk about, instead of course content like I just dove straight into, let's talk about the syllabus first because we have to understand what the requirements are while we're having all this learning fun this semester. You've got some requirements as always for our class, and so I'm going to give you a tour of the syllabus, which is behind me on the screen. This is Introduction to Sociology class, so please make sure that you're in the right place and check all the classes that are listed in your Blackboard shell because I want to make sure that you've got access to everything you're supposed to have access to from day one. Not just for my class, but for everything on your schedule. So if you need to contact me for a question in our class or for any other logistical thing about being a student at UAPTC. I might not have the answer for everything. I sure don't have the answer for everything, but I can help you find it. And it might be a quick and easy reference for you to have my cell phone number, which all of you should have texted me by now if you're watching this video, because when you log into our Blackboard class, the very first message that you get on our landing page is a message from me that tells you really how to navigate the class. But the first thing is for you to find my cell phone number where I have it listed in Blackboard and text me so that we can communicate that way 24/7 between now and when you finish my class in December. When you finish my class successfully in September, because that's our goal and we're going to work together to do that. Okay, so yeah, I said 24/7 a minute ago. Let me give a little disclaimer. I usually get up around 5 a.m. and I usually go to sleep. I keep old lady hours. I usually go to sleep around 9 p.m. So I tend to respond to texts anytime within those hours. But if you text me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, like some of you like to do, that's fine too. But I have it on silent overnight, so I won't get it. I won't respond until later on when I've had my coffee and brushed my teeth. So I will, but I promise I'll get back to you. Text is the quickest way. Okay, so let's get to this syllabus. So this is Introduction to Sociology. My name is Mrs. T. Please call me Mrs. T. I have an office at the South Campus of UAPTC, and the office number is 242. It's just in the general suite of faculty offices right across the hall from the cafe in the old building on campus, not the culinary school building, but the general education building. Okay, and I do have an office phone there, but please use my cell number always because I'm at the office several times a week, often 5 days a week, but 4 on average, and I'm just going to get the text message much more quickly than any kind of message on my office phone. Okay, so I have my office hours posted. I'm going to do, since this is an online class, I know that a lot of you can't go to campus when you need to find me. So that's one reason why you have that cell number. But also, if you want to see face-to-face and talk kind of real time or FaceTime, we can always do FaceTime or something like that. But within our Blackboard class, there's something called Collaborate, and I will post a link to that where you can, when you request a meeting, text me and tell me, yeah, I need you to be online at 10 to 11 a.m. Let's have a meeting. And so we'll do it through something called Blackboard Collaborate. You don't need to download anything. You don't need to have a different account. I don't need to download anything. I don't have to have a different account. It's all within our class on Blackboard. Okay, so text me anytime. I work for you. Do you see how I have that in all caps here on the syllabus? I work for you, so please make me earn my paycheck because I'm here. I love what I do. I love you. I love teaching, so please let me do that since I like it so much. Don't be mean and not let me do it. Okay, so you have all the standard information here that you need for contacting me through either email or through my office phone if you want to, but definitely text me. That's always best. But there's my email. Here's my chair's name, wonderful woman, her contact information. Logan Oliver is our interim dean. If we hire a dean within the course of the semester when we're here together, a different one other than Oliver, that is, Dr. Oliver, I will certainly, update this and let you know. Send another email out that says, hey, thank you, Logan Oliver, for your service, but someone else has been hired, because he's filling the post until we hire somebody else. Okay, so here's our basic information about the course, the course description, what we're going to do this semester together. And our textbook is linked through Blackboard. So on that main page that you land on when you log into our course for the first time, if you scroll down on that main page, you'll see something that says Sociology Textbook. You can click on that and you have access to it as an ebook for the whole semester. If you would rather buy a copy, like I am old-fashioned, the gray hair is real, so I'm old-fashioned and I like physical copies of a textbook. So I have like not a loose leaf, like bound in a binder kind of thing, but I have like a paperback version of the book that is old and tattered, but that's my way. I'm old and tattered too. So that's how I want my textbooks. So if you want one of those, the 12th edition is the most current one, and it's what the ebook is. But a 10th edition or an 11th edition would work just fine, and maybe they're cheaper. I'm not sure. So it's up to you how you want the textbook, but none of that belly aching about I didn't have a book, so I couldn't do this or that, Mrs. T. I can't hear that because I can't hear that or take that from you because it's available day one in our Blackboard class. Well, I know some of you might not like ebooks, but it's available day one in our Blackboard class, so please use it there. Okay, so we have some basic information about the school. Our mission is to give you high quality education. That's why I told you to make me work for the paycheck I'm getting, because this is about you and your success and your growth through your career pathway. So please make sure you make me live up to this mission of the school to offer you high quality education that helps you learn in a way, in a place where you need it. Okay, so there's that 24 hours a day kind of text access to me, and I want you to be successful and live to your fullest potential like the mission says. So please help me do that. It takes both of us for that to happen, but I promise you I'll give you my best toward that goal. Okay, in our class together in sociology, we are going to work on a whole bunch of different topics from week 1 to week 16. There's a whole bunch of different topics about society on a macro scale, which means large scale picture of like the globe and our nation and our state as a whole and how things work, but also the you and me communication kind of level. So we study all of that kind of stuff in sociology with all sorts of different topics that feed into the knowledge of those things, but we broke it down. The sociology professors at school, got together and decided that our learning outcomes for the class, we could concisely state them in these four ways right here. And so we are going to work on assignments, on lessons. We're going to have tests and quizzes, those kinds of things that all focus on your knowledge gaining. You're gaining knowledge about how to interpret social trends and cultural events and how the groups that we belong to affect our behavior, and personal interaction is affected by social norms, and all these words that I'm throwing at you that we're going to study over the course of the semester to kind of give us a better understanding of our place in the social world that we live in. Okay, so that's what our goal is in class. This semester. There's a whole bunch of general topics in the syllabus also that you'll find not only in my syllabus, but in every other instructor's syllabus. You'll find these policies on like campus safety, and you'll have a quick reference to important numbers that hopefully you won't need any of the emergency numbers that we have at your fingertips in the syllabus. Hopefully you won't have any emergencies to have to deal with. But it's all of these just general policies that we have at UAPTC, your attendance and that kind of thing. Attendance in an online course like we have together is based on the number of assignments that you submit. Okay, so participation and attendance is about assignments that you submit. It's also about how many times you log on, but just logging on is not attendance, okay, in an online class. And that's not my rule. That's actually a federal government rule that I'm bound to follow me and everybody else is bound to follow, because we give financial aid at our institution, and so the federal government is in charge of that financial aid, and they set rules that we have to follow, and this is one of those rules. So rules for attendance in an online class is not just about logging in. You have to submit work for a grade, participation in class. And so I have designed the class specifically so you cannot go past a 2-week period without submitting something, because the federal government gives us that 2-week timeline. So UALR attendance policy doesn't speak necessarily directly to the online student, but there's still sort of an attendance component that we're going to abide by, but it is that submitting work within a 2-week period kind of thing. And don't worry about it. I've got enough work. Some of it is very, very low stakes and very quick to do, so that you can always make sure that you never violate that attendance policy at all. I've got you covered. I put it into the course design. Okay, so here are some personal rules in our Blackboard class, how we're going to interact with each other. So please make sure that you review that. Here's some additional general information that the college asks all faculty members to include. So I've got all of the measures to manage risk. When you do come on campus, you need to be familiar with this so that we can all work together to control the spread, at least through our college interaction that we have together. Okay, so now we're down to the grading policy. I'm going to make a secondary video to this syllabus video. It's going to be called Video 2 in your Week 1 folder. This syllabus video is Video 1, but Video 2 in your Week 1 folder is going to go over the tests, the projects, and the reaction papers, the quizzes a little bit more closely, so you know what to do, and you know how to create a calendar for yourself for sociology, so that you won't miss any of the deadlines or anything, because Blackboard doesn't always list all of the due dates for things. I don't know why. It's a glitch that's happened in the last semester, so you're going to have to be responsible and just set reminders in your cell phone or something, however you keep a calendar, paper calendar or your cell phone calendar, whatever works for you. You're going to have to be proactive to keep up with when some of these things are due, because you can't rely on Blackboard, unfortunately, to always alert you correctly to when something is due. Okay, so we have 600 points in the class, and the 600 points you get this way. There's 2 tests, a midterm and a final. Both of those are 100 points, and we're going to take a midterm somewhere toward the end of week 7, and it'll be due, it's on the schedule that I'll show you here in just a second, but it'll be due somewhere toward the end of week 7 with grades to be posted in week 8, and then you'll take your final. It'll be open for a week, 10 days, something like that, beginning in week 15, which is the last full week of our semester. So it'll be due I think it's due Monday of what technically is week 16, something like that. So anyway, it's standard across the whole campus. That's when midterm and finals are. That's not unique to our class together. So there's no makeups for the midterm test. If you miss it, you're going to have a good week to complete it. So you should be able to schedule early on and prioritize stuff so that you have time to complete it. If you do happen to miss it for whatever reason, that final, whatever you get on your final, it'll count twice. So you won't have to miss out on those points overall. You won't make up the midterm exactly. You'll just count the final grade twice. Okay, so and it's all multiple choice. The midterm and the final both are 50 question multiple choice, 2 points each. So pretty standard. Okay, so we're also going to have, there's 4 units in sociology class and 4 learning outcomes, as you noticed higher in the syllabus that we've already covered. There's 4 learning outcomes, and so my colleagues and I in the sociology department have designed 4 little projects that you do. And again, you'll have a week or so to do each one of these projects, but each one of the projects is aligned to one of those 4 learning outcomes that we learned about, or that you got informed about above. So you'll have 2 of those projects before midterm. They're 50 points each, so that's 100 points. And you'll have 2 of those projects after midterm. And so it's designed that way to kind of give you a really good realistic picture of what your midterm average is, because half the points exactly are due and collected before midterm, and half the points exactly are still left to be earned in the second half of the class. Okay, and there will be lots of instructions about what those projects are. I'll make a little tour video like this to tell you how to do it, so you will not be in the dark. And you have my cell phone number, so you can text me. Now, weekly, I have something called a reaction paper. I often refer to reaction papers in text messages or in an email or something as RPs, reaction papers. Okay, so there's 10 reaction papers that you need to do over the course of the semester. You can only get credit for 10 reaction papers over the course of the semester. But every single week, notice I call them weekly reaction papers, I will accept a reaction paper from you every single week. So if you begin week 1 and create a reaction paper for me and you get credit for it because you follow the guidelines, which I'll tell you in another video, then there's 10 points. And week 2, ditto. Week 3, ditto. Week 4, ditto. Then week 10, you get your 10th grade on a 10th successful reaction paper. You can stop. We have 5.5 weeks of the semester left, but you can't earn more than 100 points on your reaction paper, so don't even do one for the last 5 weeks of class. However, many people aren't quite ready to do one week 1 because even though we're watching videos, we're introducing the course, and you do have one content video to watch this week. It's called video 3. It's in the week 1 folder. Even though you do have a little bit of content, not everybody is ready yet to complete a reaction paper because we don't have a whole lot of sociology meat to chew on, not yet. So often people wait till week 2. Well, that's fine if you want to wait till week 2 to begin. You still have 14 weeks to do 10. You can choose to skip any week between now and the end of the semester. As a matter of fact, you can choose to skip 6 of the 16 opportunities that you have for a reaction paper and still earn 100% on your reaction paper score because you're going to get 10 points at a time, but you only do 10. And I'll tell you more about the reaction papers in video 2 for this week. I don't want this video to be too long, but I'm worried it already is too long, so I'll be briefer. Anyway, you'll summarize your class notes. If you thought about something, if what we were talking about in class made you think about something else, that you related to it from another class or a video that you saw on Facebook or, a novel you read in 7th grade, whatever it is, you can bring that information in, write about it, what's its relationship to the class, those kinds of things. So there will be pointers throughout the videos. Maybe you can write your reaction paper about this, or how about writing your action paper like this, I'll say in the lecture videos. So I'll give you tips and pointers, and there's also an extra credit discussion board in every weekly folder where you can go in and ask your classmates, what are y'all writing about? I'm having trouble figuring out how to start this assignment. What are you writing about? What was your outside source? Those kinds of things. And get help from your peers. But again, I'll tell you more in another video. There's also weekly quizzes. You can take as many weekly quizzes as you want, but if you miss one, don't fret because I'm also only going to count your 10 highest scores. So you will get a score for every quiz every week. If you skip it, you will see a 0 there, but don't fret because I'm going to drop 6 of your quiz scores at the end of the semester. So if you skip 6 quizzes and see 6 zeros, but you make 10 out of 10 on the 10 quizzes that you did take, then you still have 100% on those quizzes. So you can only earn 100 points. That's the max possible on quizzes, but you have 16 opportunities to earn the highest grade possible. So last semester, this is a true story. Last semester, I had people who took every single quiz. They never skipped a single one, and their lowest score was like 8s, 9s, and 8s and 9s. And so yeah, they had plenty of 100s. There were plenty of people who averaged 100% on the weekly quizzes at the end of the semester. So you can skip a quiz. Don't fret. No, you can't make it up. No, you can't make it up. So take all the quizzes you possibly can, but if you miss one, don't fret, but no, you can't make it up. So, I don't apologize for that. You've got plenty of opportunities to take your quizzes. And also I mentioned briefly that extra credit discussion board that has to do with reaction papers where you can get ideas and participate, ask questions, that kind of stuff. And that's, extra credit built into the class from day one. So, if some kind of bad situation happens and you're only able to take 8 quizzes and you've got a couple of zeros to average in there, if you have participated diligently in that extra credit discussion board, you're going to have points available to make that up or for a missed reaction paper here or there. So please, I've designed the class so that yes, you have to work at the college level to earn your credit, but hopefully it will be fun, about very interesting information, and I've got you a safety net built into the class already, so you don't have to come to me the last week of class and say, is there extra credit? Because I'm going to say, yeah, since day one, there's extra credit. Let's go back and see how much you participated and whether that extra credit is the boost that motivated you to come that last week of class and ask me, is there still time to pass? Because yes, this is week 1. There's time to pass. Start now, okay? And let me help you by texting me regularly and making me earn my paycheck. Okay, so that's how you're going to earn your 600 points in this class. Do your own work because your mind is a terrible thing to waste. I guess I need to cite the NAACP right there for that credit so that I am not plagiarizing here. That is in NAACP that has that as the motto or slogan, I guess is the word, from back in like the 80s and 90s. I don't know that you still see that in public service announcements, but it comes from the NAACP. So anyway, don't plagiarize, don't cheat, don't collude. That means like work together with somebody else to, make your assignments and try to, unless you're allowed to. There are some things where you can work with others if you want. But anyway, don't do those things because this is about your knowledge and it's really easy to catch when those kinds of things happen. It's really easy to catch. So don't do that. Please don't. It's not fun if I have to, contact you and say, this work is plagiarized. Don't do that, please. As a matter of fact, I said the NAACP, but let me do this. NAACP, right there. So from like the 80s and 90s. So that's me not plagiarizing. Okay. Alrighty, so accommodation policy, this is standard. All of these things are standard in other syllabi that you have. These phone numbers here. Michelle Anderson does not merely handle sexual misconduct. She is the Associate Dean of Students and handles all kinds of fun things like student events and student organizations, clubs and stuff. So she's a great lady who you can call on for many different things, but that's her number right there. And then this last page of the syllabus is a disclaimer, is that the schedule might change. In the spring semester, we had like that 10 days worth of snow. If you remember, if you were a student at PTC, we had like 10 days worth of snow and school closures. So that's why it's a tentative course schedule. The thing might change, right? It may be because of me, but maybe because of like an act of God, such as the snow tundra week that we had, Snowmageddon that we had. So anyway, I've got each of the weeks numbered 1 through 16, just like the folders in the weekly course content section of Blackboard are going to be. So every week you have a week 1 folder, week 2, week 3 folder that appears, and you'll have the information that you need. You'll have a quiz, a reaction paper link for that week with the due dates listed. You'll have to put the due dates on your own personal calendar because Blackboard might not report them well or remind you of those due dates like you might be familiar with or accustomed to in the past. You'll have projects announced. You'll have these quizzes constantly being available as each week goes by. And so please print this if you want to, but please notice there is no course agreement form at the end of the syllabus that you need to sign and date and fax to me or anything or upload to Blackboard. There's nothing like that. There is a quiz 1. So quiz 1 in the week 1 folder is your course agreement. It asks you questions about the syllabus, about the second video that you're going to have to watch, and about the third video also that's in there so that you can earn points for for the course agreement, so to speak. But I do have this disclaimer that every student, on the syllabus, as soon as you access Blackboard, you have access to the syllabus. If you don't like anything about these requirements, or if you're in the wrong class, you've had it before, it's your responsibility to notice whether you're repeating a class that you don't really need. So make sure that that you check all that stuff. And if you stay in the class past the drop add date at the beginning of the semester, technically you have accepted all the terms in this syllabus and you're stuck with me, okay? You're stuck with me in between now and finals week. So hopefully, it'll be a wonderful experience being stuck together as we are over the course of this semester. And I promise that I love the content that we're going to learn about. I love helping you understand the content that we're going to learn about, talking to you about the content, reading your reaction papers and the work and the progress that you make on the projects. I think it's what I was born to do. So I'm so happy that I have this job. It's like almost not a job at all because it's so enjoyable to me. So please don't ever think that you can't text me or contact me about this class because I work for you first. Okay? So text me with questions, but definitely don't fail to text me that first text I've requested if you haven't already done so, because there's actually a question about that on the first quiz. So do it first. Okay? Bye now.